Okay, this is my Raw recap, January 14th, 2013. And I must say, this Raw, for being a quote-unquote special edition of the 20th anniversary of Monday Night Raw, it just seemed like your typical average show, excluding there was a steel cage match, The Rock was there. You had like flashbacks, they had video package of past events. Other than that, it was pretty much your same old thing. And to be quite honest, the same old is really bad for the most part. So, with that being said, this Raw was not much different. There were a few semi decent things, I must say, but for the most part, this Raw was not, I would say, the best thing they could have done, considering that they did, you know, I wouldn't even say that they pushed the whole 20 year, yeah, 20-year thing too hard, but for what they did, I really did expect a lot more out of this show. But I'm just gonna skim over it real quick. Big Show and Del Rio got announced for the Rumble, so there's your world title match. And then the they showed just Bob Barker and Chris Jericho. They showed these were like flashbacks of good moments from 2009 or whatever. And Orton versus Barrett. Now this match was good. It was a good wrestling match to start things off. And Barrett won clean, which was I think a really good, very surprising, considering that Orton is Randy Orton. But I think this just leads more to a potential heel turn in the very near future for Randy Orton, and I guess that's gonna start things off. And Rock concert got really hyped up, and we had the Team Hell No visiting Dr. Shelby. Now this was okay. I did say last week in my review that the whole thing Team Hell No is getting a little stale, and it is. But I think they do try working the best of their ability with what they can. And this one went decent. It wasn't all that bad, but it was more on the stale side of things. You've seen it over and over again, and it gets to the point where it's kind of not even that funny anymore. But that was that, and then that little segment led to Kane versus Damien Sandow, and it was only like a 2 minute match. And consider I was surprised that it was so quick, but I think they had a lot more. I don't know. Like the main event segment was only about 15 minutes long, so I don't know why some matches were pretty short. Then we had Mick Foley come out saying he got announced as the first inductee to the Hall of Fame. Then in comes the Shield, and then you had Sheamus, Orton, and Ryback. They all came to make the save, setting up 3-on-3. I would assume all these guys are going to have their own role in the Rumble, which is going to lead to the Chamber, which is going to lead to WrestleMania. I think that's going to be a WrestleMania match for the three, which could possibly be the place where Orton turns into a quote-unquote bad guy. So I think that's really what they're going to do. It would make sense, although having three guys of the caliber of Sheamus, Orton, and Ryback all in the same match kind of dwindles down your other matches, considering how much talent does WWE really have right now? And WrestleMania is, I would say, a 9 match card, and that's pretty much 3 matches. You got a Ryback match, you got a Sheamus match, an Orton match, all out the window. So I don't know. I hope that's not the thing, but it seems like that's where they're going right now. Eve Torres versus Caitlyn. It's Divas match. It was a little bit longer though. It was a little over 5 minutes, but Caitlyn did win with her whatever it's called, a spear it was called. I was gonna say she won with her little stomach breaker, but Eve rolled out of the ring. But Eve ended up quitting after that. I guess since she did get engaged, I think she's gonna go spend some time with her new husband. And Brodus Clay versus CM Punk. Now I thought they could have done this. Brodus Clay kind of turning into a quote unquote bad guy or a heel, but he kind of played along like he doesn't do his little dance moves because he has to. He does it because he wants to and he enjoys it. And CM Punk's pipe bomb's gonna blow up in his face. But the only thing that blew up in his face is him tapping to the Anaconda Vice. And then CM Punk to cut this promo about facts and how fact he's been champion for this much time and how he's beaten this many people and how he's this and how he's that, and it was a decent promo kind of leading up to the Rock's response, which would come later on in the show. And Rock and Foley had their little reunion in the back. Rock congratulated him, which was cool. Sheamus versus 3MB. That was an over-the-top rope, and 3MB beat Sheamus, and I was surprised and I was shocked because I thought it would be no more than 2 minutes, but it just went over 3. But I thought Sheamus would just kill these guys, and even JBL was saying, 3MB doesn't stand a chance, and no shit, and they did, and they ended up winning. So it was cool. But Sheamus did take all of them out after. Then we had Miz TV with Ric Flair. This was hard to watch considering the Miz and Ric Flair are in the same ring, and Miz was just playing such a kiss-ass character. Ric Flair's jokes are just hilarious even to this day, the things he says about his ex-wives, and then Antonio Cesaro came out and he said the only thing the 4 stands for is how many ex-wives he has, and how Miz is failed reality star, and Flair's he made over $10 million and he spent 20, and then Ric Flair cuts him off. He's like, 30 million, brother. And I was like, that is so Nature Boy-esque, and it was great. And then I was hoping for Flair to put the figure 4 on Antonio, but he let Miz do it, which I'm like, thought it was a little weird. And Daniel Bryan beat Cody Rhodes in a minute and 15. Then you had the whole marriage thing, and then that led AJ to being upset about her marriage, which got cut off because she's the GM, and then Cena kind of screwed that up for her, and that led to the match with Cena versus Ziggler in a cage. Now, for what it was okay. It went a decent amount of time. It was at least a good 15-minute match, and there was some innovative spots Cena did, kind of slamming the door in each other's faces, although it's been done so much. It is what it is, I guess. But Ziggler lost. Surprisingly, Ziggler lost another match. But I think everyone's used to it by now, and this guy is not going anywhere as a champion or as a contender for a title. He's just going to be there just for people to beat him. And that's really all you can really say. You can't really defend Dolph Ziggler, although you can say, he has the briefcase. But it's not, I don't know. It's not something that I'm looking forward to seeing Ziggler as champion, because he's not believable, honestly. Rock came out for his concert, started off kind of mocking himself as his debut attire at Madison Square Garden, and even at Raw, I think he was comparing it to Raw, and he sang a song to Vicky Guerrero, which was hilarious. I really enjoyed that, and I think he quit while he was ahead, called out CM Punk, did the same thing, how, fact, he's not God, in fact, in 20 days or whatever, or 15 days, he's going to beat CM Punk for the title. Punk gives the belt to Heyman, runs down to the ring, the guys start brawling, and the show fades to black. You had the agents come out, and the GM, Booker T, was out there, Jamie Noble I saw, Finlay was out there, Arn Anderson was out there. So they really tried making this seem as real as possible, sending out the agents. And they tore them apart, and that Raw was over. So besides the last, I'd say, half hour, I would recommend watching it. I'd recommend watching Barrett Norton, which was pretty good, but everything else was kind of a blur. I really had to look over live reports to oh yeah, this happened. But Raw was not anything out of, I thought it would be a special event. I got home a little earlier than usual so I can watch it, but it really just turned out just your typical average Raw minus a few video packages. But that's all, and I'll see you guys in the next video.